Hey everybody, this is Chelsea Schaefer.
And Caitlin Dutchdog.
And this is The Score, the official podcast of the sport of team roping. This is the Team Roping Journal's semi-weekly podcast highlighting the team roping industry's top talents and influencers through stories that inspire and connect ropers. We sit down with ropers from the professional ranks as well as industry icons and producers to delve into topics that make the team roping world tick. This is Season 2. It will feature even deeper interviews, storytelling, and issue-based coverage, and we are so excited you're here. Before we get started, we've got to thank our sponsors at Fastback Ropes. They're presenting this week's episode, and they just launched a new rope, the Cobalt. Similar in diameter to the Excalibur, this rope will appeal to ropers who prefer more tip weight and less body or bounce. And we'll tell you more about it later in this episode. If you can't wait, head on over to fastbackropes.com and check it out. Hey everybody, this is Chelsea Schaefer. I am at the Bob Feist Invitational here in the Reno Sparks Livestock Event Center. It just happened. It just ended. They just actually spilled the cattle. I talked to Junior Dees and Lane Siggins, who are your BFI champions. They won $120,000 for their time of 44 and 62 on 6 head. They were the high team back. They were absolutely cool as could be under pressure, and they definitely showed the world that they are the BFI champs for a reason. They rode some awesome horses. Lane's horse was the horse of the BFI. Junior's horse was a lion's share of fame, barrel racing bred. Those horses can do it all. And Junior obviously showed that they excel in these kinds of setups. He's been riding them everywhere, though, so he'll tell you he was riding them. And the short scores, long scores, that horse is super cool. So I hope you all enjoy this interview with Junior and Lane. I know I enjoyed getting to know them because they have not been around very long, so it was cool to meet them and to watch them win this roping. I hope you all enjoy it. Thanks. Well, guys, welcome to The Score. It's our podcast, the Team Roping Journal. Do you ever listen to it when you're driving your truck? Or?
Oh, all the time.
No, you don't.
I do. I love it. I'll tell you, Shane was really big on it.
I've never listened
and I got to listen to it. And
I've never done it.
I like Cades. I listen to Big A's.
Yeah.
I like Big A. That was a Yeti commercial. No, I've listened to Big A's.
I guess I've never heard of them.
Yeti commercials in The Score, but not a lot. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay that you don't listen to it. Well, I'm really glad that you're on it because I hope now you'll listen to it.
I am.
To hear what you sound like on the radio. So anyways, BFI champions. Like that will be after your name when I write about you for the next 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. I don't know how long you guys are planning on sticking in this game.
A long time.
Long time. What does that feel like?
It can't be explained, and especially to win it with Junior. It's my best friend. My family don't go to very many of them, and for them to be here, it was unreal. Win the horse with BFI again, it was just one, and it was almost like I seen it unraveling about after the fourth steer. And it was so slow motion. I don't know why I wasn't nervous. I felt like, you
weren't nervous?
I wasn't. It was weird. It was a very weird day.
Do you usually get nervous? Like, would you have been nervous?
A little nervous, yeah, especially for the big jackpots, but it just seemed like we got tapped off, and it was just, I didn't see it going any other way than, I don't know about necessarily winning first, but I knew we were catching the steers.
How did you feel?
I felt good. My horse, he felt like he got easier and easier throughout the day, and it just, with a horse like that and the steers the way they were, I just told myself to stay with my game plan. I had a game plan today when I left my trailer, and it was to get out of the barrier and turn 6 steers and handle the steers. And I don't know if I did the best job, but I tried.
Now, we know he's got Matt Zancanella in his corner always. Were you talking to Zank too throughout the day?
I talked to Zank once. Zank, he has a way of seeing something and talking about it that you don't necessarily get offended to him, and he's trying hard. And he called me after the first year, and I did the same thing yesterday to probably cost us making the short round at Reno, as I've missed the haze, and his horse is so fast. If that horse gets a jump on me, he outruns my horse. He's got him by 2 foot, and he's a lion's share for him. He's fast, and so I have to get out there and be ahead of the play, but it's hard because I don't want to push him left, and it's just. He's easy to heel for because he is so fast, but he's just hard. He's a hard horse to heel behind.
So then what Zank said?
Zank, he was just told me to get up there and get around him. He told me to get up there, get a better start, try to beat that horse up there, and and just trust they're not going to go left. I heard it was funny, this BFI, they all wanted to go a little bit to the right, it seemed like. They wanted to push on you a little bit. I missed A's on the first one, and it come together a lot better after that.
Now, he mentioned Lion's Share of Fame. You have an amazing access to the Lion's Share of Fame horses. Talk about what happened to your horse situation last year, because that sucked. We'll talk about that, and then how you transitioned to this horse.
God throws curveballs at everyone, I feel like, and I've had a lot of good horses throughout the last 4 years of my career. This is the 4th year I went rodeoing. I've had a lot of good horses. I've had actually 4 of them that were, I would like to say, $50,000 or more go down. Like my black, he went down. I had a bay that I won the U.S. finals on. He broke his leg, or had a heart attack. I had a barn fallen one that Caleb Driggers was thinking about buying, and he was a great horse. They rode him at the Hork Dog BFI. They rode him everywhere. And, I've had a lot of horses go down. This year it seems like I've had a lot. It's like they were real green, and they've come along real fast. And we've noticed throughout the last few years that Lion's Share of Fame's, they in every aspect of the arena, they've come a long ways. They've rode him at the NFR and the Bulldog, and they rode him in the barrel racing. They haven't had none in the team roping yet. But in the future, yeah. But I think they're coming more and more. Like that horse I had, the one I rode today.
What do you call him?
I call him Dylan. His name's Famous Dylan. And he's shit. Lane rode him 8 months ago, and he didn't like him. He was green. He was hard, and he's just, they're real smart horses, and they're like people. Every horse is different, but like every Lion's Share of Fame, if you're around them and you spend time with them and you go and you make them your horse, they're good horses. But if you go out there and you beat them and you spur on them and you jerk on them and just treat them like they're your slave all the time, they're not going to handle that. They're not going to take it. They're not that kind of horse to take it. And they kind of have, that's the racehorse in them, but they want to score and they run. And a lot of people, everyone's head and style is different, but mine, I like a horse that scores and runs because it makes my job easier. And if I can, that horse is just going to get easier and easier, I think.
Lane, walk us through the roping today. Not just your runs, but were you watching the roping? Did you see how the pace of the roping was going and how the rest of the teams were doing?
I didn't watch it. My dad was talked to him several times about it, and you get tense and you get to watch, and then there's so many good guys, and it's such a league that a guy will fall into their games, and you don't realize we've got this far, and just to stay mentally and one steer at a time. And I particularly don't like to watch the jackpot. I come up here a couple times and sat with Coates, but I try to stay in my own game. My horse is really quiet, and he's good like that, so I try to stay out and keep him that way and stay just one step at a time.
And that horse of the BFI, so he will always also have that after his name. Tell me about him. He came from Tanner Baldwin?
Yes, Tanner trained the horse. Tanner had him for 3 or 4 years for sure before I got him. He went through fraternity as a reject cutter or cow horse or something, and I have an old gray horse that's kind of famous that was phenomenal that come from the Adamses, and his name was Bullet. And this horse, Tanner bought him because he reminded him of him. His name's Shooter. And it was just a coincidence I ended up with him. I rode him a little bit. Me and Tanner are good friends, and I rode him when Tanner started him, and I haven't been around him very much then, but the horse he had everything it took. He's fast enough, he's broke enough, and he was one of them horses. He's special. He's a special horse.
Now, were you 100% pleased with the way he worked today? He looked amazing all day.
He was phenomenal. I've had a rope tied on him for whatever reason the last couple of days. Halfway through the jackpot, I took it off. He's weird. The more you put on him, the freer he gets. And he was a little free on the first couple, so I took it all off him and sure enough tightened up towards the end of it. And he was as good as he could have been today. Jackpotting like this deal, he'll get a little bit movie in the box. And today maybe it was spaced out enough that he was quiet. He was awesome.
Now, before we go any further, I want to take a break from this interview with Travis to tell you about our sponsors at Fastback Ropes. They've got a new rope out called the Cobalt, I mentioned that earlier, that launches July 1, and you're going to love it. I've talked to a ton of Fastback endorsees who've had this rope under embargo for the last few months, and they've all told me how much this rope has helped their roping. Guys like Brock Hansen, Cesar De La Cruz, and Dakota Kirchenschlager have been testing it for you, and they're hooked. It's aqua blue, makes it easy to see, and it's a combination of poly and dyed nylon that makes for a really durable rope. Now, Fastback dealers are welcome to pre-order it right now, but it's not available, like I said, until July 1. It's going to be available in a 31-foot head rope in extra soft, soft, and medium soft, and the heel rope is going to be available, of course, in 35-foot and available in soft, medium, and hard medium. This rope, you can buy it on fastbackropes.com and at your Fastback dealers. I heard you talking to the other people that were interviewing you. You guys have been amazing at the rodeos this year. 25th and 27th, I think, in the world right now. Almost have about 20,001 planned for the summer. How many rigs are you sending out? Are you the kind that can send multiple rigs around, or are you?
We're gonna rodeo the best way for us financially. We're not gonna go like a lot of guys that'll send rigs, and we're not gonna go to Pecos and them. We're gonna go and do our own little loop. We were gonna come back here for the short go, and I got the bear last night, so that's not gonna happen. We're gonna go to South Dakota and Wyoming and Montana, and we're just gonna go rodeo and try to make us some good runs. Hopefully draw good and have us a good summer. I mean, this right here is huge for us, because we've honest to God had one thing that was holding us back, and it was money. And that was gonna, if there was gonna be anything all summer that was gonna make us have a hard time to go and make it this year, I would say money. I mean, I'm not saying that we're guaranteed gonna make it, no, because we're gonna go, and who knows, we might not win another check all year, but we're gonna go and we're gonna make our run, and we're gonna hopefully draw good, and we have a chance. We got a lot more tools right now than we have before. We want a couple more saddles, want some pads. We got a lot of stuff. We got rigs. We got 2 rigs. If we do need to send his rig, we will. But hopefully we can just go in 1 rig. We have a kid, Martin Walker, out here helping us drive, and he's handy. He's a lot of help. And if we can go in 1 rig, we're going to go in 1 rig, because we all get along great, and we're all 3 buddies. But if we got to send rigs or do whatever, we will. And there's a lot of times in the summertime that it might happen. But hopefully we can keep doing good and get to go to all the good rodeos. I love going to San Juan. I love going to the tour finales. I want to get back in all the tour rodeos and get into all those and give ourselves.
It worked out good for us. I just have my gray horses. My second stringer's a horse they call Moonshine, that's Zanks, that Junior heads on. He rode him at Houston. We placed at Logandale. He rode him at Oakdale, and just coincidentally, I got tapped off, and I rode him. I placed at Redding and Stonyford and Vegas, and he's as good as he. I honestly, until this morning, I was going to ride him over here. For whatever reason, I didn't ride very good on him last week, and so I rode mine, and I've had forever. And so we can have 3 head horses and 2 heel horses in a rig with that horse. It's been kind of a blessing that anybody can get on him, and we can have 4 horses that go so many different ways, and it works for us like that.
That's awesome. And you had said, I heard you say somebody earlier, you didn't even know how you're going to get to Greeley money-wise. I mean, that's kind of a complete life changer in a 7-second run, right? In
a matter of seconds. It was, obviously we have enough people out here and family that we were going to make it, but
it didn't look good.
We're going to make it a lot better now.
I'm gonna tell you that.
We didn't like our chances.
I'm not gonna pout, and I'm not gonna talk about. I'm the brokest I've been in a long time, and I needed to win. And I tell you right now, I come here today with a mission, and I was beared down, and I wanted to turn everyone. I knew that if I would have got out of the barrier and I turned every steer and I handled them, I knew I was going to catch 6 head. I knew my pointer would heal them. I knew it, and I went with that mindset today. And everyone's like, well, you guys are roping aggressive. I wasn't trying to rope aggressive all day. I was just trying to get out of the barrier, turn the steer, and handle them. I knew my horse was fast enough. I didn't have to rope aggressive, really. I mean, like I said, I would have took 2nd or 3rd today in the average. On the short go, my goal, high call back, was to get out of the barrier and turn the steer and handle the steer.
And you guys, your family has always bought and sold a lot of horses. You can get by on just about anything, probably, heeling-wise, but you just won heel horse with BFI. I feel like that's kind of an oxymoron, or it's really ironic that you could probably ride anything and out-heel most guys. So.
It's been a good way to grow up. I do have that. It's kind of hurts me a little bit. A lot of people will go to a horse sale and watch me ride them, and they're like, well, they all look like that. And it's been, you obviously don't need a good heel horse as a head horse. Just like I said, I've lucked out and had him, and he's been phenomenal for me. And Junior's got the best head horses in the world. And it's a heel horse can only be as good as a head horse, and they go good together.
Now, he said he was darn sure that he was going to win this roping today, or he was going to catch all 6. Were you as confident? Do you have that much confidence, or are you more subtle with your confidence?
I was pretty confident in it. Like I said, I'm a jackpotter, and we've caught a lot of steers together, and you get to a time, I guess, you guys talk about paying your dues, and you get due for it. And I do remember before we walked down the tunnel, third back was in the box, and we looked at each other and we said, we deserve it. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it, but
that gives me goosebumps.
We deserve it. I've got a text message on my phone, we've talked about it, and when you get to a point when you deserve it and it's your time, it's time. And it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. We deserved it.
And you guys are best friends. I saw you in Arizona most of the winter. You guys were having a blast, hitting all the jackpots. What is it like getting to be in Arizona for the winter? I mean, you've got to be staying sharp.
You know, there's a lot of fresh steers, and you know, it's the jackpot down there. It's not like a lot of places you go. Like I've jackpotted a lot of places like Texas. You go to Texas, I mean, you're gonna have to be 5 a lot. You're gonna have to make good runs. You're Arizona. The steers are a little fresher, and you know there's a World Series barrier, so you gotta have a horse that'll score and blast real fast across there. And I mean, I love going to Arizona. I like going there and being able to rope, and I feel sharp going into the winter rodeos. I dang sure think that there's such thing as overdoing it. I do. I think I've went there and I've overdone it multiple times. I like to go to Arizona and have money and be able to just go jackpot and go to the good ones and have fun and maybe go heel every once in a while and just dink around. But I think a person gets to go a little too much sometimes, and then you get to this 2 or 3 weeks into it, you've went so much, it's just hard to make money doing it.
Yeah. Was there a steer today that was questionable?
Yeah. Our third one, he heeled him up way high, and it come down, and it come right on the toes, and we walked out here, and I said, it's our day.
That was it. That was the one
It was our day. I knew it.
Did it happen in slow motion, and
yeah.
Did it happen so fast that it didn't matter?
It was funny. It was like a feeling. I felt it. It was definitely a run that you would feel. If I slipped a leg, I would have felt like it was how I rode my horse. And I've slipped a couple legs. If we've missed one, it's coincidence we've slipped a leg. If I've missed a steer and we talked to Junior about it, about finishing better, and I kept off him a little bit, and it worked good.
And you said his horse helps you finish quite a bit, helps your horse finish. I heard you talking to Julie.
My horse is a little bit freer, and that horse's face is so good, we have to make sure to get him to the end of it. I guess all of them. And it helps me help Junior. If the run stays fluent and I get mine all the way to the bottom of it, which is a different kind of feeling, and then alternatively his horse will face better.
Now, did you watch his victory lap? Did you watch him lap the arena?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was actually trying to turn my horse in a circle and chase him, but he went by me, so I couldn't chase him. So I got my rope, and then I went and chased him.
Awesome, guys. Well, I'll let you go.
My favorite part about it all was he tells me right before we roped the steer, I said, hey, let's just make sure we slow down and get a time. He's like, oh, you bet, dude. You bet. I'm just going to ride out of the arena like nothing ever happened. And I said, sounds good, bud. And I walked away, and it wasn't 2 seconds after he healed. I mean, a split second after he healed him, I had come off. I said, oh, I knew it.
Did it, take over? Did it completely overcome you?
I blacked out. I blacked out. Well, Darren come up to me and told me I win horse of the roping, and obviously we didn't have any money. We were for guaranteed $2,500, so that was a lot of stress off us just making the short round.
Yeah.
I really didn't necessarily want to do that, but I'm happy I did it, I guess. I don't know how many times I've practiced that as a little kid over and over again, and haul out my house, my arena, and threw my hat and had to go get it, and I feel like that was, like we said, we deserved it. I deserved it to run around Reno one time.
Awesome. Well, guys, congratulations. I hope we get to do this throughout the summer. And
I hope there's more of these.
Yeah,
we'll see you in Greeley.
We'll see you in Greeley, guys. Thank you. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll talk at you next week for the short score. Back to our normal day on Tuesday. Thanks. Hey, before you leave, remember, thank Fastback Ropes for supporting coverage of the sport of team roping and supporting telling these stories. Fastback, with their new rope, the Cobalt, has been supporting us, and we completely appreciate the way that they are diving in and promoting the sport of team roping. So thank you, Fastback. Everybody remember, when you are making your purchasing decisions, to think about the kind of brands that bring you the stories that you want to hear. Just like this one with Travis Tryon and Walt. And remember, check out that Cobalt on July 1.